Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures are up nicely across the board. So yesterday was a big update. It was bigger than I was anticipating, and we got some good news yesterday. We're getting some good news overnight. Apparently, Trump is not going to fire the Fed chairman, and so that's put a bid into the futures. So let's see if we can put a couple of good positive days in a row here. We do have some economic numbers coming out and oil inventories, but they all come out after the market opens on Wednesday morning. Now, the US dollar index was able to reverse yesterday. The price of crude oil was up yesterday. It's up again in the pre-market this morning. We did have the price of copper up nicely yesterday. The price of gold hit a new all-time high before closing slightly lower on the day. It is down $75 or so in the pre-market. Not enough to, of course, kick people out, but there are some people up here taking money off the table. Looking at the VIX was down yesterday. It's down in the pre-market this morning. So if it closes where it's trading right now, that would reconfirm a sell signal for the VIX, and that, of course, is supportive for higher stock prices. The TSX was up nicely yesterday, so still on a buy signal here. And as you can see, we have closed above the upper channel line several times here. So we always, or not always, but sometimes, as we did last week, we look for a reconfirmation from some of these signals, and we certainly got it for the Canadian market. Looking at what worked, well, it was the energy sector is back on a buy signal as of Tuesday's close, and Canadian financials are back on a buy signal as of Tuesday's close. Looking at the U.S. market, banks ended the day on a buy signal. Regional banks ended the day on a buy signal. Biotechs ended the day. And we had the retail ETF with a very light buy signal on Tuesday. Now, we're still waiting for the NASDAQ 100 and the Magnificent Seven stocks. They are still on a sell signal, as is the S&P 500 and most of the other major U.S. indices. We may be able to see more buy signals based on what we're seeing in the pre-market on Wednesday's trading action. Tesla is in the news this morning. They're out with earnings. Tesla's trading nicely higher this morning. It's still in the channel at the moment. So we need a close on Wednesday above $254.33 to give us a buy signal for Tesla. Let's take a walk through the Dow 30 stocks this morning. Remember, 4 of the Magnificent Seven stocks are within the Dow 30. Now, coming into Wednesday's trading action, we already have some Dow 30 stocks on buy signals. We also have some Dow 30 stocks that generated a buy signal recently, and we're waiting for a reconfirmation, and we got a couple of those yesterday. Anything that's closing in the channel, there's a mathematical possibility of a buy signal on Wednesday. For example, Apple, which traded up to the upper channel line yesterday, looking for a close above $201.78 on Wednesday to give us a buy signal. Then moving down, when we look at Amgen, it's trading and closing below the lower channel line. So not expecting a buy signal on Wednesday. Of course, these companies, when you look at something like Amgen, and I say, mathematically speaking, there's not a possibility of a buy signal. But of course, some news or unexpected event could show up and create an opportunity for a buy signal. But as soon as I look at a chart like this, Amgen not considering a buy signal on Wednesday. There's Amazon closing at the lower channel line. Then we've got American Express trading in the channel. Now, it generated a buy signal. Remember this big up day? We waved off buy signals from that day, looking for a reconfirmation. So on Wednesday, we're looking for a close above $256.32. And, that would be somewhat bullish. That could be a higher low there. And then we'll look to see if we can take out this recent high, and that would give us a higher high, and that would be bullish for American Express. Now, there's a stock already on a buy signal. That is Boeing. Then we're looking at Caterpillar. Caterpillar closing in the channel, so looking for a close above $300.15 to give us a buy signal. No joy for Salesforce, closing below the lower channel line. No joy for Cisco. And then no joy for Chevron either. Now, Chevron's, just closed right in the channel there. It looks like we're building a base here. So there's something to take a look at, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a trade back up to the previous lows. So back up towards the 248 level. That certainly looks like a possibility. And then we've got an open gap above that. Then looking at Disney, looking for a close above $87.53 on Wednesday to give us a buy signal. There's Dow. We're looking for a close above at 29.40. We closed at $29 even on Tuesday. Then we've got a new buy signal for Goldman Sachs as of Tuesday's close. Looking for a close above $357.36 for Home Depot on Wednesday. Then we're looking for a close above $200.37 for Honeywell. IBM is on a buy signal, and we just got a reconfirmation as of Tuesday's close. Then looking at Johnson & Johnson, already on a buy signal. For JP Morgan, looking for a close above $235.06. We closed at $235.59. So there's a reconfirmation for JP Morgan. New high for Coca-Cola on Tuesday. And then we had a new closing high for this move for McDonald's on Tuesday as well. We had 3M trade right up to the upper channel line. So we need to close above $136.40. We closed at $136.33 on Tuesday. There is Merck closing in the channel, so a close above $80.82 on Wednesday would give us a buy signal. No joy from Microsoft, so we've got Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft still on sell signals, so no change for those stocks. And then looking at Nike trading up to the upper channel line, so looking for a close above $57.30 on Wednesday. No joy for NVIDIA. NVIDIA still trading below the lower channel line. It's still trading below $100. The high yesterday was $99.81. So I think traders would be happy to get that stock back up over $100. We still have Procter & Gamble on a buy signal. That would change on Wednesday if we close below $164.49. No change in trend for Travelers, moving up to the recent highs. No joy for United Healthcare, of course, which collapsed a couple of days ago, and it continues to move lower. It closed slightly higher on the day after making a new low for this move on Tuesday. No joy for Visa, looking for a close above $335.34. No joy for Verizon. Verizon gave us a sell signal on Monday and closed slightly higher on Tuesday, looking for a close above $44.33 to give us a buy signal. And last up this morning, we've got Walmart. Walmart's well on its way to hitting 100. That's only 2 lines away. And that is the bottom of an open gap from back in February. So that is certainly a legitimate target to the upside for Walmart. Now, when you look at some of the brands in the Dow 30, stocks like Apple and Nike, which are what would be considered consumer discretionary stocks, still on sell signals, and then some of the what would be considered consumer staple stocks, such as Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Walmart, they're doing fairly well at the moment. So we'll have to see if that continues or if the market shifts from going back to the consumer discretionary stocks and giving up on the consumer staple stocks. Hey, the futures are up nicely on Tuesday morning. There's no economic numbers in between where we are right now and where the market's going to open at 9:30. So we're going to see a positive open on Wednesday morning. Whether that continues throughout the day is yet to be determined. But, it looks like we may be turning around here for a short-term pop and not expecting it to last very long. But here we are. And if you're short something and it gets a buy signal, even if you don't have the confidence to go long, you need to cover your short position. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Thursday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.